It's been almost a week since the bombshell court filing listing 9 social media influencers in a $1 billion class action lawsuit became public. Since that initial filing, quite a few things have happened, with some of the influencers making claims in their defense, and the lawyer in the case giving a statement about why this case was filed as well. Now first, let's start by going over the influencers that haven't released a response yet. Honestly, this is probably the smartest thing to do and is most likely what a lawyer would tell them to do in this case. However, some influencers seem to be taking it more serious than others. Stephan, who always posts on Mondays, didn't have an upload for this Monday at the time of filming this video, hasn't released any videos since the lawsuit with his name was dropped. If you're someone who has followed Graham's channel, you know just how big a deal this is for him to miss a Monday upload, considering how consistent he always is. From there, let's take a look at the 2 influencers who have responded, Meet Kevin and BitBoy Crypto, aka Ben Armstrong. Now BitBoy is in a very unique situation compared to the others because BitBoy never actually was sponsored by FTX. He called the company out months before its collapse, and rightfully so, is now livid that his name is included in this lawsuit. This was undoubtedly a mistake by the law firm to include him in this case. After the news broke of the lawsuit, Ben went on a tirade on Twitter, calling the lawyer who filed the case a bunch of names, leaving a negative review on the law firm's review page, and attempting to get the lawyer's license to practice law revoked. All of this eventually led to BitBoy releasing a video where he stated he would countersue the law firm for defaming his name.
My name is Ben. I am being sued, that's correct. I am being sued for $1 billion in a class action lawsuit. It would have been so much easier for them to leave me off the lawsuit. And oh, it would have been far better. Would have been far better, lawyers, to do your due diligence to find out that I never promoted FTX instead of putting me on there. You got slam dunk with everybody else. And the judge would probably throw it out because it's frivolous. But here's the thing about a frivolous lawsuit. Now that it has been put out there, oh, Mr. and Mrs. law firms behind all this, now it's been put out there. Now you can't take it back. Now you have, in fact, defamed my name with 100% provably false allegations. So, you guys are in the lawyering game? Well, guess what? Better lawyer up. Because your friend old cousin BitBoy is going to be coming riding into town on a horse, a legal horse, with a whip, ready to whip y'all into shape, get my money. You better have my money.
In my opinion, I'm a bit conflicted here because it's clear BitBoy was never paid to promote FTX, and having his name dragged through the mud for something he didn't do is wrong, but on the flip side, BitBoy has come across as a bit of a bully in the past, including his lawsuit against Satoshi last year because he didn't like what was said about him. BitBoy most likely would have buried Satoshi in legal fees if channels like Moist Critical and CoffeeZilla didn't bring awareness to the case and get BitBoy to back down. So ultimately, I hope he's able to get this case resolved, but it's hard for me to feel bad for him going through this situation considering what he's done in the past. Now let's take a look at Meet Kevin's response. Now Meet Kevin, as we all know, loves attention whether it's good or bad, so of course he relished in it. He gave an interview for CoffeeZilla's channel, talked to a few reporters as well, and launched a video on his channel titled Being Sued, where he basically passed the blame onto the consumers, saying ultimately it's your decision what you invest in, and he doesn't feel accountable for what happened. Kevin took it a step farther and started replying to comments in the video, making jokes about how this case would cost him next to nothing to win. As someone who has researched Kevin, I can honestly say he is most likely the richest of every influencer that was sued, and he has what's known as media liability insurance. Having this protects him from things he says on the channel, meaning that the lawyer's fees around this case will be paid by his insurance company, and if he were to lose the case, they pay that out as well, up to a certain amount. So ultimately, the actual financial loss to Kevin will most likely be very minimal. However, Kevin should understand that many of his own followers lost large amounts of their money investing in FTX, and to appear so cavalier about it by cracking jokes in the comment section come across really cold-hearted. Finally, let's take a look at the lawyer Adam Moskowitz. Now this guy seems to like attention, as Adam and his clients launched the initial lawsuit against the celebrities who endorsed FTX in November, and he went on a media tour to talk about the case on any channel that would have him. Since the launch of this new case, the media coverage hasn't been nearly as large, but Adam did give a statement to BuzzFeed where he said, "Influencers are paid just like all other promoters and thus must be held accountable. They are paid so much because they play an important role today with social media in making financial decisions." It's important to note that both Meet Kevin and BitBoy Crypto have both called Adam and his law firm ambulance chasers, the type of law firm that just goes after any scandal to get attention, and there may be some truth to that based on their case history. Since the filing of the case, there have been arguments all over YouTube as to the merit of the case, with some claiming that these influencers don't hold any responsibility as they didn't know FTX was a scam, and others making the claim that FTX platform they were pimping acted as security and they could be in very hot water. Kim Kardashian had to pay over $1 million fine last year after not properly disclosing how much she was paid to promote a cryptocurrency. If the feds can get a charge to stick against Kim Kardashian, it's very possible this case could stick against these influencers as well. Finally, I want to say that from my research, it's very clear that at least BitBoy Crypto never was paid to promote FTX. The law firm adding him to this list was a very serious blow to the legitimacy of the case as a whole. As someone who isn't a lawyer, I don't know if that potentially puts the whole case in jeopardy of being thrown out, or if he can be removed and the case against the rest will continue. But whatever happens, this case has captivated the YouTube world, and I'm sure many will be eager to see how this all plays out.